T'as vu le bordel? C'est abusé gros. Quoi? Si tu veux.
How are things going to unfold for him? He just hit top 25, so first round of placement points coming out. Don't forget, guys, 15-5, victory out 7. I don't know how to do math. Just from elims and placement. Yeah, and if you're new to competitive,
Oh là là, qu'il est nul lui.
at the highest levels of competition, when there is money and prize on the line, not only that, the respect of your peers. People are insane at this game. You might not see Glider redeploy every day in your day-to-day games, but here in the upper levels of competition, they use these kind of items to maximum efficiency to see.
Le monde qui est dans la zone gros, et nous quand on est en top 2, ben on est tous planqués. D'accord. Bah mauvais zone comme je faisais tout le temps, mais à chaque fois vous voulez jamais venir.
You know, especially as Fortnite continues to evolve, new patches come out, new weapons, utility, all that. Like, it's just an ever-changing game. To see these guys adapt and just everything.
Mais moi genre moi je crois que je vais en avance comparé à toi.
Take a look at Rona, who somehow manages to find some high ground off that shadow bomb, doing a really good job at climbing up here. Makes the edge one step ahead of unknown space there. Kind of steps out before his counterplay can even happen. Now he is set up. He has a setup shot right here. He's got to go to the top. It's Alfie. Alfie firing down, and someone else is just above him. See there, it's Brave. I will not lose. He's got the ultimate high here. Alfie says, you know what? I want no part of that. He is coming down into Rona. See what Rona's going to do with these final moments here. He steps into another player's box. 120. Such a tight crosshair to hit these shots. Gotta respect the aim here.
Oh ouais, gros le gars il a 10 kills.
This is what separates Sosman from the rest, right? There's so much confidence behind his play, and this is what I love talking about because that's what resonates with me, is how confident you are in the moment of things happening, right? Just look at this. Not building. He has 13 builds.
Mais il gère trop en fait. Ah non, ah non, ah si.
He's dictating the tempo of this game, right? Right now, Sosman is on that lowest level. Bray is up above. And now, I mean, Sosman's got.
C'est DVD, c'est un V1.
This is huge. He's gonna try and go against Bray. Now, Bray does have more materials. 35.
Rona il va gagner.
You know, let's go toe to toe. Can Sosman line up? He actually drops down below Monster. This engagement didn't even pan out. Oh, is he gonna be able to get him? Is he gonna be able to break these builds and bring him down to him? You saw Rona season was trying to stay all the way through. And Rona season is Sosman, guys. For those of you guys just tuned in, so these final moments are here, are everything. He's looking to get these.
Oh, il va crever. Le gars il est tellement bien haut. 20. Oh GG. Gros 11 kills.
This is what we're doing now, because you saw the player above. They had health advantage, they had shields. Sosman did, he was down to what, like 50 HP and then pops the slurp. And then that other player was so afraid to fire back because he was like, look, this guy's gonna crack me in the face every single time. You can just tell by the way he's moving. He's confident. He sees that win. And that's what I was gonna say. Like, it's so funny that even with the high ground, sometimes you can just tell a good like low ground warrior will poise up in such a way that you're like, dude, if I like look over, like, like you know what I mean? Yeah. Like you just know. So in those final moments, you kind of just knew, man, he was gonna get shot, and you know, hate to see it.
Ah ça fait mal.
Not be able to clutch up, but on to the next guys is OR.
C'est que je vois avant toi. C'est que je vois avant toi.
Crazy, like why would he do this? I'm just gonna get this guy, and then he just completely demolishes me. I'm like, he is crazy good at Fortnite. That's what was going on. Now look at this, orange. Two pick up. My goodness, 3 elims just like that. Now keep in mind he's outside of top 25. He's got to be a little bit careful here of how he navigates. Again, on the right side of your screen there, you see Sosman, again, the person who qualified from OCE. His name currently is Rona Season, aka Sosman, just to make sure you know.
Look at this loadout, dude.
It's looking good. One of the underrated things about the minigun is the extreme high fire rate. It might actually have the highest fire rate in the game when it's fully cooked, and because of that, it can really punch through builds, even if you're trying to stay on defense. So if you guys haven't given up the minigun a swirl, I should say, try and pressure someone down when they're in the box with it, and let me know if you pierce through the turbo build to get some shots. But don't forget, guys, we're tuning in straight with the OCE games here, which already kind of develops over the evening here at the Fortnite World Cup. Players have already punched their tickets in New York City. This is the last solo opportunity. Next week will be duos, but today it's all about the solo action. You can find yourself in the Big Apple.
Big Apple for a slice of pizza, like Golden Boy likes to say. I don't know why I like to keep perpetuating that, but here we are.
For a slice of 30 M.
Yeah, there you go. You know, something really cool about Rona's loadout, look at this. He's actually maxed. We were able to see his max count there for a little bit. He's completely maxed on everything. He actually has extra metal laying close by. Max rockets with the 12. Completely great AR. Look at this, 650 rounds of small ammunition, 130 slugs, 8 deploys, a single shadow bomb. Sure, you know, he probably wishes he had 6. But this is a loadout you want to make plays with. He's going to send shots over to the player, trying to get in. Lucas is going to get caught out, making a rotation, and that elim puts him in the top 25.
He is there, knocking on the door here, and this is how this journey unfolded to make it through to the Fortnite World Cup. Every opportunity that he has to take someone out, you can see he's singling out players and taking advantage of the positioning, but hopping around the map. These are some other players' journey as well. As we have Ariel here, looking for the heavy snipe, finds a weak opportunity in the build. Whoever that is up above him is going to manage to connect the structure, but oh, Ariel pops a nice little cone up. He's trying to go for it. Really trying to get a piece of this high ground here. Now he disengages the pursuit.
It's best to not try and go for the play, especially in finals. If this is, you know, semifinals, go for it, right? Like at worst, you're just set back the game, you can re-queue and everything's okay, but in finals, every single interaction does matter. So for Ariel, you know, he could have potentially challenged for that high ground, but it's like, I just kind of use my heavy snipe. I don't have that key to all doors. Let me just get myself to safety, take a moment, reload, gather more information. And because of just that slight pause, look, he's now in top 15. He found an elim, which he was hunting for before. He just finds it in another place. And now he's still just continuing. He picks up a rift to go as well. Heavy snipe going to be picked up too. So now, I mean, Ariel's in a great spot right now.
Yeah, for sure. That nice little mat replenish there from catching the elim is going to throw him back in the running here to try and see if he can squeak out a victory. Up at the high ground, we have other things unfolding. Kalen goes down to Samurai. Sosman still alive in the mid-tarp, putting down pressure. Squall's in a campfire here. That's a signal to the rest of the lobby that, hey, there's someone nearby. Sosman hears the shadow bombs kind of thrown all around him. What's he going to do here? He's just on the hunt. OCE region specifically requires you to get a ton of eliminations if you want to be number one. There's only one spot up for grabs. Here it is, another player nearby. That's all shield ripped off. He's going to push that. Sees a player above him. Does see a player above him.
He's going to try and maybe make something happen. But look, don't forget, he still has every single rocket.
Nice rocket right there.
12 rockets. This payload is about to just destroy builds all the way around. And look, Ariel as well up on the high ground has them. So the first rocket from Ariel comes in, and then Sosman's second finds an elimination. Another rocket from Ariel up on the high ground. And look at this. Down below, they're just desperately trying to...
Ouais, la saison il est vraiment chaud.
Burning through match. Sosman is now out. And look, he gets challenged from the front, challenged from the right, finds the two players, and he makes this a 1v1, but look at his HP right now. First rocket's gonna come in. How is he gonna pull this off, Monster?
I don't know if he can. He doesn't really have much going for him. 24 health.
He picked up 500 metal from 0 to 500. 50 builds. This is huge. If those get fully built off, they're going to absorb an entire rocket and still stay built. But
way, dude.
This is a tough spot. Oh. That's a tall ask. That's a tall ask.
Really was. 200 HP on Ariel with the RPG as well. He was fully loaded, med kit, minis. He had everything he needed. That was a tough end game for Sosman. But hey, second place is not too shabby in this format. You get you know, a ton of placements, but more importantly, those 2 eliminations to squeak out. We've seen the difference of 1 point was literally what all these games came down to. So that little flick of the moment, that little, you know, reaction to jump down there and go for it, that's the risk you take, and that's the payout you get.
Now we hop on over. There you go. This is, so don't forget, this is now, we're in Asia replays. You can see at the top right. So these happen again overnight while we were all asleep. I was asleep like a baby. That's not true. I woke up several times. I was mad about it. Moffin XD, though, was the victor coming out of that A3.
Yep, you see there, Moffin finds someone hiding in the cone. Does capitalize on a nice little elimination. Sees the loot back there, but might be a little too far to go scavenge for, so he's just on the hunt still here. As things are poised up outside of the Dusty Divot. Really tough place to battle out of. You never want to find yourself in the center of it. Nice shot right there. Does he catch someone who's running right by? These competitive players are so good with the accuracy. Oh, he's trying to play the loot hoarder here, trying to get all the mats and stuff that he did not battle for, and now he's got the storm against his back, and there's no way that man was going to get out of there, because with the 60-second threshold now, the storm can also just reward that Elam regardless to Moffin here, and whoa, he jumps into the zone for the desperate materials. Didn't even rip out. Ouch, it's going to cost him like 70 health there, Zeke.
That's a lot. Okay, so he did pick up 3 campfires. Sure, he can heal up, but that's such a tell, right? The moment you place a campfire, you're telling everyone around you, hey, I'm low HP. I have to use this if I hope to survive. Now, keep in mind, he was at the edge of the storm. He had quite the rotation to make. Because he dipped into the storm, everyone else is already making their way into safety. He's going to have a relatively safe rotation, but, like, again, he's in critical condition. If he finds an Elam, it's going to be huge. That Siphon's going to just put him right back into fighting condition, but he's got to find that Elam.
Dude, talk about, like, insane rotation. First of all, he didn't get shot once coming from the further side of the Dusty Divot, and there was multiple players set off on bases. That is what we call that little bit of luck factor that sometimes you just need to kind of pull through here, because it doesn't happen like that very often. Someone gets rifted up there, Moffin lands a nice little 78.
Et team.
He's still in the game right now. Still in the game here.
Ben, il y a tellement de gens sur la minimap, tu vois même pas où il est celui qu'on regarde, c'est abusé.
I doubt he's going to try and go for close range snipes. He's probably going to use that to just punch into people's bunkers. He has his own rift to go. If things get a little hairy, I think he probably wants to use it because of you. This is great. Just punch you, there you go, and use the other player's rift.
Again.
Yeah, but look where we're going right now. We're going on the little lip there of Dusty Divot. That's such an incline that if you don't make it first, you can actually box other people out, and then they have to burn materials to get over the little hill there. So I like that play, just saying, you know what? This guy used the rift, and look at this. Prime real estate.
You just said it too, right? Like, you want to get on the lip there and see what you can do. Moffin comes in with some shots here. Looking for the replacement.
Wow.
Pulls off the cone, Z.
Wow. Just something like, oh, that player must be weak. Would we like to engage him? And Moffin sitting on 200 is like, please. No, yeah, absolutely. Like, come on in.
That'll be a big mistake for someone there. Just look at this map here. This is the Asian region, guys. We're tuned in with Asia. Hopping into some of what occurred overnight here. Char Mew looking to get his little moment here on the show. Nice shot right there. Oh man, Char gets hit with the Shadow Bomb. Don't forget, guys, that animation while you're in Shadow Bomb as well, you're vulnerable. You are very vulnerable. You have to be careful of your surroundings. You can take damage. You're not invincible in the Shadow Bomb.
Man, Charmy is just burning through materials. That was a pretty rough rotation. It's probably going to cost him in the long run, because, I mean, he did go through quite a bit of mats, but you know, Monster, I like to pose this question. I've already posed it to Pookie. I've posed it to Kitty. You know, you guys are members of the community. You've taught so many of us different things. You know, you've got a podcast. In case you know who Monster D-Face is, go send him a follow. He's incredible. But you've been in situations like this, right? You've played in Summer Skirmish. You've played in, I think, Fall Skirmish as well, right?
Yep.
You know, we went to Korea together to watch the Korea Open. So you understand what these players are thinking. For maybe people that are kind of new to Fortnite, that maybe this might be their first time tuning in, you want to just break down some things for them.
Yeah,
like for instance, like rotations. Like what is Metsu thinking right now as he's barreling toward trying to keep himself safe, right?
Yeah, well, like obviously initial threats, right? You want to handle everyone here, nice little play. So just even every single decision can be broken down. The way they use traps, a lot of these players, you want to double trap left and right wall, so you cut off.
Gros, quand ils font leur truc, je comprends même pas ce qu'ils font tellement qu'ils vont vite, pas toi?
Editing his way down, right? He does not have an
Genre
escape
quand ils
route.
construisent ça, je comprends pas ce qu'ils font, j'arrive même pas à suivre.
Of course, to get the escape route off the high ground, but just recognizing height differences, the way competitive players play zone, they typically like to hug the zone. They never give too much. They don't take too much real estate in the end moment.
Mais en vrai, oh la
They
putain.
take their time and kind of hug the zone instead. Flirt with that storm line. So many little different things
Il arrivera pas. Hein.
that come into competitive play, and you can really just nitpick and break it all apart. It's so crazy in the highest levels.
Yeah, I just love talking about that stuff. I'm not great at
Il y en a un HP gros.
thoughts with that kind of stuff. I understand what's happening. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to tell you a thing.
It happens so quickly, especially in Fortnite. But that's one of my favorite parts about it is just like the action, the APM, the actions per minute in Fortnite is unparalleled to any other VR I've ever experienced. And that's what really draws me.
Regarde, c'est un minimap la taille de la zone gros. De la zone là où ils vont.
Looking at Moffin who pulled through, man, took it right underneath.
T'imagines?
People
Ils sont 6.
Zeke and I
Putain.
we had the pleasure of casting it at South Korea. He crushed it.
Yeah.
We saw Sino
Remember
out
we met
there.
him. We met
Yeah, we
him.
met all, dude. It's like
Mais
so
oui.
surreal, dude,
Yeah,
right?
dude. I remember that.
Ils sont
story
4
so-
là.
That would happen so vividly. We met
Il y en a
him
2 qui
because
sont
we
morts.
were like, we're like in almost like a green room waiting to go,
Ooh.
and we saw players around us, and Aim Hero was like, he popped in the room, and we're like, oh hey.
Moi
like,
aussi, moi aussi.
Hi, matter of fact, remember there was like this.
Il fait tout pour le tout, celui en bas à droite. Et là il n'y a plus de zone. Là il n'y en a plus. Oh.
You know, we know you're the victor, and that is exactly why 11 eliminations and the victory royale, 21-point game, massive lead for him.
Ouais, il nous fait une petite démonstration.
And then they just called us out. They're like, yeah, you're Monster and you're Zeke, and I was just like, what the
That was
heck?
definitely crazy to think outside the country.
Yeah, that was what was
We're
so.
out the country.
I was,
Fortnite on a global scale,
man, how you know, it's so crazy. That was like at the beginning of the year. Now here we are, dude. What, outside
C'est moi ou il y a un pseudo chelou là-haut là?
This thing is just like exploded.
Oh.
the snipe coming out.
Vas-y, c'est bon, vas-y, c'est bon, c'est bon, c'est bon. C'est bon. Et vas-y, calmez-vous, bordel. Oh. Et paf dans ta bouche.
Moffin's gonna have to bring it when you put a player who's only experienced one region, let's just say, against the likes of the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Who knows what region is
Oh, no.
really gonna come out
No.
on top. Keep in mind too, though, guys. You know, the EU and the American regions, the European and American region, will of course have a larger presence.
J'en peux plus. Team, j'en peux
It's gonna
plus.
be interesting how the top 20 turns out, especially considering, you know, some presence a little less than others, but I mean, all these guys are equally skilled.
That's right.
In some capacity, they're all deserve to be there. All of them.
And you know what's funny?
Les Français sont déjà passés.
You know, we interviewed, in case you missed it earlier, go back and check out the vlogs. We actually interviewed Sosman, the winner from OCE, and you know, he was just basically
Un
explaining,
team.
like, you know, we asked him, how do you feel about going into the
Les
Fortnite?
Français sont déjà passés.
Oh, you know, OCE plays differently than NA does.
Et il y avait
It's
qui?
going to be interesting for me going to finals and competing against that because we just play so differently. So I almost, in my head, like I just imagine everyone kind of playing their own game going into finals. But
Il y avait Ninja.
like, you got to think this is a $30 million prize pool. This is
Je sais pas.
the biggest stage
Care for different places. I mean, but that goes against everyone else too, though.
Sure.
Because that
Et on voit sa tête.
like, oh man, just think about it.
I think
They're
finals
gonna
gonna have its
they're
own
gonna have
meta.
they're gonna have a
Yeah.
style and of
Non, il me
course,
l'a pas envoyé.
the high guys. I think the real question is who's gonna have the confidence to take a fight and win a fight. Like,
Yeah.
who is straight up gonna have the confidence and just be like, you know what, I don't respect your builds, I'm pushing you.
Oh,
Like, who's gonna be
il y a eu un
that
coup de
guy,
lag.
right? Because that's really what comes up. If you are confident like that, that's why we see people like Bugga,
C'est à moi qu'on voit pas le nombre de personnes qui regardent ça. T'imagines?
What duo are you? I don't care if you're Kinstar. I'm gonna take
Quoi?
the wall right now.
Exactly.
And that level of play is why.
Dimanche.
Dude, we've seen Stompy do it every week. Even this time around, he got 11. He was just outside of top 10. So trust me, he's still here, guys. That's what they do. They just do crazy plays.
Yeah. That's actually something you.
Et il arrête le tir au pigeon lui ou ça se passe comment là?
You cannot
Évidemment, hein.
say it's just
Voilà.
me, and I'm
Je suis en train de déglinguer tout le monde.
Fighting up against someone like Moffin, who qualified as that #1 player going into finals, I cannot stop and sit here and go, that's Moffin. I know what he's capable of. Yeah, I can't make a mistake. I just have to go. It doesn't matter who that is. I just have to play my game. I have to play the very best that I can. And at the end of the day, that's all I can ask for, right? Like the moment you stop and think, that's Tifu, I think that it's already too late. You've already made the error, right? Like you can't stop it. And some people can't. They're like, okay, I know that's Tifu. I know he's going to try and probably do this based on what I've seen and the information I have. But if you're just sitting there and thinking like, oh man, that's Tifu, I don't know if I can fight him. Like, no, you can fight him. You've made it to final four.
C'est juste un peu le monstre de la game, lui, non?
It's also the early game story, the contestant, the points of interest, who likes to land where the map.
Ça te paraît pas, mais 11 kills, c'est hyper difficile dans ça. Ah ouais.
And the game is going to be played in a way.
Il a mis un 41-10, il gros. Nous, au corps à corps, il met un 5. L'autre à 10 mètres, il met... Non.
100 of the world's best under one hub, the Fortnite world.
Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait. And to see all the Fortnite fans there as well, kind of cheering on the people they support. It's going to be.
Are you ready to feel the crowd's energy?
I'm going to cry.
Rip through your body?
I'm going to cry.
It's literally you're gonna feel the vibration of the entire stadium.
Just a rough when incredible plays happen, you know.
Oh man.
Man, dude, chills, dude, chills.
Chills, dude.
Oh yeah, we just fist bumped you guys.
Ils se tapent un délire, les commentateurs, ou...
You had that moment with this hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Are you ready? Are you hyped for the Fortnite World Cup finals in New York City? Alter Ego here finds an elimination, cracks that player. Now this is his first elim. He's probably hoping for more, right? At this point, he wants as many points as possible. So he's gonna look to probably play a little bit more aggressive, right? But look at everyone else. Moffin, the #1 player who came through for Asia, is in this lobby, and he's dominating the high ground. 12 eliminations, by the way.
He has just been shutting it down while we've been chatting up a storm here. Moffin going for the high ground. He's holding it. Nice little side jump right there. No errors coming out of him. Look at how he uses the boom bow to crack open all the builds. Nice little 82 right there. Here comes the pressure. Can he get the follow-up? He's looking for it. Nice little side jump, and that's another one. This player is in pickaxe territory. Bye-bye jackpot. Mom could not even get the loot off that. Couldn't get the spoils. Another boom bow crack open right there. And when a fresh build comes out, if you do not hesitate, you send a boom bow right away, you break it all open. So that's how he's able to just like catch these players off guard, because those roof panels are just, that's it, exploding right up.
Yeah.
Down to the low ground, CXV gets one elim there, and it's Macy and Mev who's going toe-to-toe. Mob still just has the dominant position.
Yeah, I mean, look, so he's going to drop down. He's got the single build, so he had to take a little bit of fall damage to rejoin everyone from the stratosphere. Macy's down below, and look at this.
Non, mais 100% c'est lui qui fait top 1,
I
gros.
know you heard me take this fall damage. You don't know how much it was. They go for the challenge, and Moffin was prepared. He knew.
Mais oui, c'est lui qui fait top 1, c'est sûr.
He's like, I want you to challenge me. You know that I'm hurt. How hurt I am. You do not know. And just like that, dictating the game yet again, cleans up that.
C'est qui Pro Biker?
It's that 25-point game that's literally doubling his score out of nowhere. If you were in the top 10,
Ça va, il a pas copié le compte à... Il a pas copié le nom du compte à maintenant, lui.
That's crazy. Now, guys, you know, we've had an awesome time, but for now, we're gonna hit pause. Let's send it back into studio with Dr. Lupo, because I believe the doctor is in.
Quoi?
What a terrible, repetitive joke, Zeke, but I appreciate the effort. I'm just kidding. Thanks, Zeke. Appreciate that. Crazy games.
En vrai, la pauvre, hein. Pas pour la plaindre, mais...
See kind of the meta changes and how different regions present themselves and the way that they adjust their gameplay relative to everybody else. But Europe today, and as we've seen multiple times in the past,
Je vais pas te mentir que je cherche pas à comprendre ce qu'il est en train de dire. Hein.
I think few people could even possibly imagine. And to talk about that,
Puis il y a Thor à côté.
for who ended up on the top right now is Sundown. What do you think so far about Europe?
Thank you so much, Lupo. Indeed, it was crazy. So just
Oula.
a couple of quick facts I want to write down. 15 points.
Par contre, c'est pas la même, hein.
Place in 8th place. That means a 5-point victory round was this difference of going to New York City and being in the 100th.
Ça, c'est un mec qui a gueulé hier.
That is absurd for how close it was. Black Soap, in that final game we watched, pushed him up to 61 points. He was tied at 61, but because he had the victory royale and got the average elim at the end, it pushed him into the last spot. We talk about how every single interaction ends up mattering, and then unfortunately on the outside looking in, Airwalks, the last play we saw, if he had had one more build. He could have made it up the elevation and kept the storm. Instead, lost it, lost the victory route, and lost his spot in New York City. Mitro also on the outside looking in 2 top 15 finishes, but not being enough. That lets you know how crazy it is. However, the player who took the top spot was Cypher's Andretta with a crazy run, and we're going to be joined by him right now. Andretta, man, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling very good.
I mean, I would hope so. So we saw you yesterday put on an incredible show, and week after week, your placings have gone up. What was the difference between this weekend and all of the other weekends? Were you just feeling it? Did you eat your Wheaties for breakfast? What's going on?
The thing is, the other weeks I wasn't that confident, but this week I decided to try and talk with someone while playing. So that kind of helped. Getting to like talk to people, getting them to calm you down and stuff. And I got good RNG. Very good.
Nice, yeah, being able to get all of that and put it together. So you got off to an incredible run, winning 2 of your first 4 games. How were you able to get those victories? Did you just dominate them out? You had a solid amount of elims. What were those wins like?
I was using the bowler to get the end game, and then I usually,
Ouais les gars, je reviens.
when I needed to drop out and stuff, to go for the eliminations, and I usually had my bowler until end game. So the thing is, you should try and keep your bowler until end game, because it's really strong. You can go out of your bowler, get a lot of kills, and win the game. Also, you can use the bowler to get height most of the times.
Yeah,
So I did that sometimes. And
we saw you execute on that a number of times, which is kind of something we were talking about, pushing the gameplay and actually turning the baller into something that was aggressive. Now, kind of about midway through, you looked at the leaderboard, saw you were in such a lead and knew you'd be able to close it out. But my question is, when it was all said and done, and you saw you were there, you're in the #1 spot, what did you do? Did you run around your house? Did you go tell your parents? Were you celebrating on Discord? What was that moment like?
I was celebrating so much. I actually got hosted by Symphony. My stream was going crazy. I was actually, while I was playing, like my 5th game, I started crying because I almost knew I was qualified. So that was probably one of the best moments in my life ever. I don't know what to say.
It's got to be exhilarating, honestly, to know that, especially in Europe, which we've talked about as one of the most difficult regions to qualify in. Even with 8 positions, there's so much pressure there. But I got to ask a kind of a random question. I keep seeing the lighting change on your face. What are you watching right now?
I'm actually watching the Fortnite stream.
All right, you see yourself. There's layers here. There's layers. It's very Inception level. Well, thank you so much, Andretta, for joining us. Before we let you go, though, if you could do me a favor, please shout out your own channels, shout out your duo's channels, anybody you want to.
Okay. So my Twitch is Andretta. My Twitter is Cypher Andretta. My YouTube is Andretta. And I want to shout out Shokoladen, and all the people in that Discord. And I want to shout out my stream. Thank you so much for the support.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Again, incredible performance both yesterday and today. Congratulations. $10,000, a spot in New York City, and as Golden Boy would say, we'll have to get a slice of pizza. We'll be seeing you later, man.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely incredible. It's crazy to think just the age ranges too. You know, the kids that are so young, all the way up to, I believe the oldest qualified right now is 24
right now. Yep.
Consider how much they're playing for too. I don't blame him honestly for getting emotional in the middle of even halfway through his games. It's insane.
It's just nuts to me where he's like, oh, I didn't have the level of confidence. And then right after, it's like, yeah, about like halfway through my games, I started crying because I knew I'd done it. And it's like, that's the level of confidence you need to be bringing on the final day. Just huge shout out to Andretta. Go follow him on Twitter, follow him on Twitch, give him all the plugs because I promise you'll be seeing more of this prodigy. Topping Europe is an incredible accomplishment in Asia. Just now, we're going to hop on in to Brazil for a brief little bit. So, back on over to the cast as we go.
Thank you guys so much. Man, you know, I feel like we've just nerded out about Fortnite, but now seeing Andretta be there and just like talk about things, it makes me want to nerd out more.
Dude, it gives me the feels, man. These young champions coming up and coming out, and it's crazy. Like he said, he just knew he made it, because if you look at the track history of all the players who've qualified so far, I say it every week, it only takes about 5 or 6 games. That's all it takes. If you get 5 or 6 aces, just solid games, big points, big placement, you're knocking on the door.
Right.
All you got to do is not choke the rest. Just
Right.
ease it out. Just ease it out. Get a couple here, get a couple there, secure the deal, and Andretta knew 5 games in, oh my God, I think I got the 5 that I really needed to make it to New York City. And that was it. That was like literally it. Long behold, though, he gets first in the whole thing. European, the toughest region, in my opinion.
Yeah.
One of the toughest regions. Of course, you can't take away from West, who sometimes only gets 1 spot. You know, OCE, Asia, and Brazil, of course, they only get 1 spot. It's crazy. That's arguably harder, but when you talk about mass player pool, Europe is hard, dude. To get #1 is insane.
Well, especially for Andretta, I had a card not that long ago kind of saying a few of his placement spots. Last week we watched him end in 610th place, and now the last solo week, now to see him in the final week come out as that #1 player, you know, that's
It just clicks.
you know, I would associate with, like, you know, there's 8 spots, and if you hit one of 8, great, awesome, I've qualified, great. But to be able to say, of that 8, I was #1. Look, you know, Tifus of the world, you guys need to respect my game. I came in #1 in Europe. That's why I'm here in the finals. Like, let's go. It's going to be insane. Oh, man, I love Fortnite so much. 23 people left in the current lobby, though. Monster hopping in Storm Circle 6. Now, guys, don't forget, we are hopping into Brazil games. These are live. For a moment there, we had the timer. We're about 1:30 or so left on queue times. Don't forget, it's 10 games.
An hour.
About an hour 40. Okay, I was close. Darn. I was just off by 10. We have either that 3-hour window or 10 matches to play, whichever comes first. And then obviously we're going to, you know, make sure that, because don't forget, you can queue up even with those last few seconds and then play out an entire match. We want to just make sure everyone has enough time to wrap up their games, get those standings out. But here we go. Peru, hopping in with him. 100 ping. All right.
Things are unfolding right now as we speak. So this is a live situation here. Brazil, known for another region that you have to pick up heavy elimination, secure placement points. This is not just a win every game and you make it through scenario. You need the elims as well. Nice shot right there from Peru. 100 ping. Connecting with the combat. Oh, bumps his noggin right there, and it's going to cost him a second launch pad.
Yeah, you definitely want to look up. You never want to make that happen because you waste a secondary launch pad, but it's okay. New rotation coming out. He's got to reassess. He's going to be able to get himself to safety. Now, he's already hit top 15, so everything's okay. We're still in the running here. But, you know, there's a lot of big names in the Brazil region. All the W7M boys. You see the red teams, right? You know, Snow, just to name one. You know, the X-Own King. So many talented players.
Seen Techno Viking kind of pull through.
Also from red, you know, man, there's so many players here that this spot could go to. Tries to challenge for the launch pad, doesn't get it, and says, Kin, I'm going to go ahead and shut you down. You took that launch pad, I need it, and that's what helps him make the rotation.
Ooh, but he does get hit by a combat. It's Ice who's in the high ground, so Peru's now found himself in a dire situation. He's got to start healing. Tony's underneath the build, putting some pressure up, but Tony gets melted by Code, Pulsari, and so does Gabriel. Just gets owned by Vanessa on the edge there. Clip Node now putting pressure down. We're going to hop into his perspective here as he's looking for this combat. That's 1, that's 2. Doesn't find a 3rd, but it's okay as he raises himself up into the layer. He's trying to get a brief moment of peace in this crazy storm that he's in right here. He can't even heal. A nice little shot. Fran, he catches him in the toe. It's going to keep him in the game here.
This is huge, man. He's already on 8 eliminations. When we talk about elimination counters, especially on finals, 8 is massive. You know this player has been on a spree. And look at this. Clipnote looking to play it out as technically as possible, looking for these angles, waiting for people to turn their backs and send shots over. I think he's trying to go for the wall replace.
Yeah, he hit this guy for white, so he knows he can take this right here. He's got to be careful, though. Can't let his guard down. Turns around. It's Peru, who was in a weird spot before. He was very low on health. Turns that one around. Someone else goes down to the storm right there, so Clipnote couldn't even get that. It's Vamos,
Hello.
who was still in the game.
Hi.
And Exakal holding up the high ground right now. What's he gonna do? He's just walking on these builds. He doesn't have anything left. Neither does Clipno.
In the shadow form, he just obliterates the player. That was absolutely insane.
Il a combien d'abonnés?
Is the victor of that game. Like, see what it did there? You made me sorry. It's okay. Next game though, massive prop. Oh, you see
Clip and the this and the that.
Just rhyme. No big deal. I'm not a rapper. 44 players in the next game. Moving on in. Man, he popped that ghost right in the sky. Maybe you could call him a ghost buster. Oh. Shout outs to Jeff. I made your joke. We're gonna high five after this
did you
production.
take his joke?
Yeah, he wanted me to make a joke on broadcast, so I did it. Again, guys, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Give production some love. There's so many people that work so hard to make this all possible, and they're all wonderful human beings that I honestly cannot give and express enough love for. So just say hashtag Fortnite World Cup production team. You guys are awesome. That would mean the world to me and to them. An hour and a half. I guess 36 minutes. I'm just gonna be specific because everyone's always like, "You're rounding. Don't do that." Sorry, it's just how I work.
Yeah, Zeke, there's 1 hour and 36 exact minutes and 13 seconds at this current moment.
C'était la map à qui quand t'as fait ta vidéo de survie?
There you go.
That's trying to
Quand t'as fait ta vidéo survie, c'était la map à qui?
gets behind the tree. Tree works on his favor and shadow bomb.
You saw it, he was like, dude, I want this limb. I worked real hard. I need to find it. And they shadow bomb out. They're like, no. And in the end, it was the elimination credit. He must have fallen to the storm. Don't forget, with those recent changes, you gotta be more careful, man. That 60-second timer, you can't play around with that.
Dude, you must have, I can only imagine in shadow form, if you
Assim você de mata. Which net pego.
back just a little bit, it must have been just enough to hold him into the storm.
Yeah.
And that's how Vax fought that elimination here. That's the congestion. This is unreal for the Brazil region. You don't see it get this crazy, but 40 players basically on a non-moving zone right now. We're just approaching the first. Luco boy finds Mew Pal there, and Oni Tomori is putting in some pressure as well. Just going to see what he can find here. Vax just waiting on by, trying to.
He's got the launch pad.
Holding it in the hand.
Yeah, he doesn't want to give it away because if you put it down early, it does make that sound, and players know, all right, community launch pad. There you go. Great. Making sure that the storm overtakes it, so if anyone else wants to do
T'as un
it,
dislike.
take the damage for it. Bro, we are nowhere. Still 9 players. 8 players need to fall before top 25.
Yeah, this is actually insane right now. These guys are sticking around for placement in these final moments here. But if you want to take first place, you got to get Elans here, and that's why Vax is being so proactive right now.
Something to point out too, check the right side of your screen. The damage threshold, don't forget about that. Look at this number though, 1,000 damage above the threshold. This guy is putting in work right now. Facts, he is going full send. He is aware, he wants to try and qualify. Remember, there's a spot up for grabs in Brazil, and these are live games happening right now. So, you know, Oceania and Asia happened overnight. We still have to crown a champion coming out of the final solo in Brazil.
Yeah, Vax is already at 13 points, so that was game 1. He's way ahead of the curve here. This might be about his 3rd or so, but nonetheless, he's still in the running right now. These are some respectable points to be had. As he's going for the high ground. Clothesline to Zoom. Straight up. Hits him with the 96. And now, he's in it. But he's going to go down to the low ground here. He doesn't want to contest for the high. He still has to pop some minis. And the server's collapsing on him with raining fire here. He's got to be extremely careful. Lucky for him, the high ground is in a battle of its own now. Vax catches a moment to regather himself as Ganks and Lorax is in the high ground.
Man, and look at all these players coming in from the community launch pads, any rotational tools they have, the Rift to goes. Oh yeah.
That's a weird place to be, man. You can't build on that thing.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. You have to build over it.
Up and over.
A shot into the storm. Oh my. That is Twail has picked up 2. Tate as well. Frita. Patata frita. 2 eliminations
Is
to
that,
name.
is that another? Oh, that was just yoink from him. He almost had it. But credit is still to be had here as he is turning up right now.
Bro.
I can't pronounce that the way Zeke did, but Patata frita is going in right now. He's looking for this high ground.
Receive a builder? All right, Batata Frita. I'm about it. An 82 and a follow-up. That is Lorax.
He got the mats. That's what's important here. He does have the materials to hold out now. The high ground is his. Can he stick it out, though? Yes, players are
Ouais.
A little bit more is going to be rewarded to him here.
À quoi?
Man, see the shot there? This was really good.
À la fin de la game que je suis en train de regarder, ouais.
Go high ground. Look at this. It's putting him in the top 5. There was
J'ai juste arrêté le live sur la game, j'ai fini là, puis voilà.
right around there. And because of his decision making, he's gotten himself all the placement points. The victory route is the next threshold. And look, Monster, he's just looking to close this out. That's right.
Il y aurait 5 personnes, ça va.
Holding his high ground, but he is out of mats now. So this is where you have to go down. Uses the cone right there to sit on that, and he just has to give the high ground to a veer here.
I believe that is Avalar. I think.
Oh, Avalar, gotcha.
Yes.
Eh gros, dans la game, il y a un gars qui s'appelle la salle TLS.
He's gonna go to toe with that player though.
Non,
Good day, sir.
Did he get mats off that? He didn't see it.
j'imagine.
He's got the flint knock though. He's got.
Bon, moi je suis sûr, les gens ils font ça. Genre ils font une vidéo comme quoi ouais, ils commencent Fortnite, c'est des bambis et tout ça. Et en vrai, genre c'est des monstres.
Wonder Urson is gonna go down. Is he gonna go down? Yes, he is.
Des monstres.
Brita connects in the final moments right there.
Yo les gars, donc j'espère que ce petit live sur, une partie de la finale de World Cup vous aura plu. Donc voilà, donc n'hésitez pas à vous abonner, tout tralala. Et puis moi je vous vois pour un autre live. Allez, ciao ciao. Et abonnez-vous aussi, hein, si ça fait plaisir, c'est gentil.